What is going on, good people of YouTube? It is me, Chavez. I am back. You are back. We are back with another day, another week, and another month. Not very often we get to bring in a new day, a new week, and a new month all at the same time, but that is where we find ourselves today. Is Monday, April 1st, 2024, April Fool's Day. I used to get into so many fights in elementary school. Motherfuckers trying to pull April Fool's jokes on me, get punched in the throat. Nah, we would just scuffle on the playground, nothing too crazy. But yeah, it's April Fool's Day, so whatever that means. Do people still celebrate that now? You putting thumbtacks on people's chairs and super gluing their stapler to their desk or something? Let me know in the chat how y'all celebrate April Fool's Day. As always, I hope this finds you doing well and in good spirits. We got a fun show ahead of us, as we always do. We're talking player props, we're talking injury news, we're talking turds, we're talking basketball, baseball, MLB, NBA, whatever you want. Whatever you want to do to within reason. Within reason. Whatever you want to do, we'll do it today. All right. If you're new to the stream, I say thanks for being here. Appreciate that. Hit the like button on your way in. Drop me a message in the chat letting me know you're new here on the channel. I'll be sure to get to your player prop question ASAP as a way of saying thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us for a minute or two. And we move on to the most morbid intro in YouTube live stream history, with a death statistic. Over 10% of the US population will die in their sleep every single night. You're watching this, you're not part of that 10%. You're on the right side of that. Hashtag blessed. Value your day accordingly. And we move on to our turds of the day. Turds of the weekend. The last time we sat here and chopped it up was Saturday morning, so we don't do live streams on Sundays. What player prop? What pissed you off Saturday? What pissed you off Sunday? What's pissing you off this morning? Throw it in a chat. Let's break down our turds of the day. It'd be great if we didn't have any turds of the day, because that means your slips all perform well, and that means you had a pretty good weekend. What is going on, Reuven? What's going on? Good morning. Yeah, shave the beard. Shave the beard off. Yeah, the no gray in the beard definitely shaves like 15 years off my appearance. Getting carded when I go into Total Wines and More. That's always fun. What's going on, GMAC? What is up? Good morning to you. I think a unanimous turd from yesterday is the Cleveland Cavs. I don't know if I know the most popular play from the Cavs was Garland. I know the most popular play was Garland, who absolutely didn't do anything yesterday. That guy just walks around with a box of chalk in his pocket. Donovan Mitchell, I loved a lot of his props, so I'm pretty thankful that I didn't play more, because his three-pointers look good, his PRA, I mean, everything was looking real good. That game had a real tight point spread too. They lost by 29. Yeah, Karis LeVert did okay. Mobley, Jared Allen scored a bunch of points. He didn't do much else. Donovan Mitchell under 20 PRA. Darius Garland didn't even get you 15 PRA. That was a big turd right there. Yeah, I would say those are pretty unanimous turds right there. Max Strus, yeah, pretty much anybody in Cleveland. GMAC went with the RA for Garland. No points for Garland, just RA. He had 9. What was his point? Or excuse me, what was his RA? 8.5, right? I think his RA was the same as Mitchell's 8.5. Mitchell got 0 rebounds. I played that yesterday. That was tilting. Yeah, just an all around bad day for that game. First game on the schedule, blowout, right? I mean, Nuggets looked like they were in like NBA Finals mode, and Cavs looked like they were still going through the motions of preseason, summer league. Yeah, that was bad. It's also Easter Monday too, right? So this day is typically a day off for a lot of people, or is it Friday? It's Good Friday, then you have the weekend off. But because Easter falls on Sunday, right? Then you get the Monday off, so it's a 4-day weekend for a lot of people. So a lot of people are probably still asleep or traveling. So may not be the biggest crowd today on the stream, and that's all good. We move on. We move on to the next slide, and we're going to talk some injury news going on in the NBA today, April 1st. We have a pretty condensed list of players here. Desmond Bane is out. Alvarado is out. Grant, Conchar, Taj Gibson is still putting around the NBA. Is he in New York? I feel like wherever Tom Thibodeau is coaching, that's where Taj will always have a job. Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis questionable. Cade Cunningham questionable. Aldama, Sasser, Jalen Johnson, and Kobe Buffkin all questionable today. There is a lot to know about this injury report because the names on here are just a piece of this. Especially for the Celtics, they got everything locked up. I mean, they got the #1 seed locked up. They got the best record in the NBA locked up. I mean, I don't even know how many games are left in a regular season. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 games left. 7 days left in the regular season. I mean, they definitely don't want to lose all 7 games, obviously, but do they need everyone healthy? So I think we just continue to see a rotation of players sitting out for the Celtics. I wouldn't be surprised if going into the last couple of games, we just see them rest everybody. And they don't want to risk any injury or anything like that. So, but for a lot of these teams who have made the playoffs, consider those facts. And then also for a lot of these teams who are just completely out of it, no chance of even closing in on a play-in spot, what's the upside of playing their starters? Like back in the day, you just played basketball. That's what you got paid to do. Nowadays, it's load management. It's rest and recovery, getting a head start on getting a head start on Cancun and all this stuff. So just really monitor the injury news. And we're going to start making a strong transition into the MLB here within the next week or so, because I have a feeling we'll start to see a lot of G Leaguers being called up. That should be fun. So that's the injury news for today, Monday, April 1st, 2024. And we move on to our plays of the day. I have a few plays that I do want to share with you, taken right off our cheat sheet in the Discord. Posted the Discord premium link in the chat. We got a very strong freemium section in the Discord as well. So it's not required that you pay for the Discord. So there is a lot of information still there for you that is always being added and updated throughout the day. So if the premium is not your thing, it's all good. I think we got a little something for everybody in there. Before we get into our plays of the day and your questions for today, as always, props.cash is what drives our researching process here on the stream. There is my code on the screen. Thanks 25 is the promo code that'll get you 25% off your first month. If you've never used props.cash before, if you've never seen it work in real time, then you're in luck, because we use it here every day on the stream. So you get to use it, or you get to see it used in real time. Let's move on. I have a few plays that I do want to share with you. A couple plays that you can find on PrizePicks, a couple plays you can find on Underdog. So kicking it off with this Aaron Judge over 1.5 total bases. That's playable on Underdog and PrizePicks. Jabari Walker under his 19.5 PRA. That is playable on PrizePicks. And then Miles Turner. Miles Turner is playable on both Underdog and PrizePicks. Looks like I forgot to add the logo there, but Miles Turner under 7.5 rebounds on PrizePicks and Underdog. yeah, that's it. Those are my 3 plays. We'll break them down on props.cash along with a few of your plays, and we'll round out the stream with a few rounds of player props. And hopefully at the end of this stream, you'll have more information to work with to build out some slips, hopefully be profitable today. So without further delay, let us head on over to PrizePicks. Let's pull up the PrizePicks dashboard and let's start adding some player props to the screen here. 17 viewers on the stream. What is going on, everybody? What's up, Jim? Good morning to you. Blessings as always. GMAX says my weekend. I worked all weekend. This is your only day off this week. Damn, man. Enjoy it. Green until last night. Who chalked it last night? Jackson under PRA. Yeah, let's start there. Let's pull up Jaren Jackson under his 32.5 PRA versus Detroit. Memphis is a really good, both of these teams, really good examples of players playing. And yeah, the Cavs. Both of these teams, really good examples of like, what's the point? Kind of, obviously you have to play games. You can't just forfeit a game. But you don't have to play your starters 30 minutes. You don't even have to play them 20 minutes. You don't even have to play them at all. So taking the under, or even just considering the under for a few of these guys, might be a way to go. There's a big difference between the NBA season with 7 games left and the NBA season 7 games in to the season. So we can definitely take a look at some unders. We got Jaren Jackson on there, Aaron Judge from the cheat sheet, Miles Turner from the cheat sheet, and Jabari Walker from the cheat sheet as well. What's up, JR? Absolutely. New month, new week, new money. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's do it. All right. So we got these 3 player props up on the board. What else do you got? We can just start here, and then we can add to it as I see questions pop up in the chat. So let's do it. Let's head on over to props.cash. And let's start looking at a few of these plays. We'll start with the 3 that I wanted to share with you all, get those out the way, and then we'll just add to it. Like I said, today's a day off for a lot of people, so we may not have a lot of engagement in the chat. It's all good. We'll make the best of it. Doesn't have to be a big party to be a good party. All right, let's take a look at Aaron Judge total bases. Now, this one right off the bat, no pun. Yeah, tons of pun intended. What am I talking about? Right off the bat with Aaron Judge, you're noticing the odds that are way in favor of the over on BetMGM. I love the fact that we got 5 different sports books that we can look at here. Pinnacle being the one that is regarded as the sharpest in the industry, but BetMGM, DraftKings, and Caesars all really like the over on this one, while PointsBet is just right there in the middle. So you got 4 out of the 5 books that really like the over on this one. Let's figure out why. No sample size yet. Okay, so the season just started. We're only a few games in, so you're not going to see the last 10 games, all that stuff. Even if we do look at last season for Aaron Judge, he was so hurt and injured last year. He really did not get it going. He was not in MVP form at all. So it just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to look at the game logs. What we can do is look at his splits. We can do is look at his BVP and see if there's anything there. Outside of the odds looking good, he definitely doesn't have, he has no history to go against or to look at versus Ryan Nelson, who's the opposing pitcher for Arizona. Now, last season, Aaron Judge versus right-handed pitching smashed 29 homers. Let's look at his hits so I can pull up everything. So 29 homers. He had 15 extra base hits on top of the homers, 37 singles, 266 batting average. Now his batting average against lefties is much higher, but also notice his plate appearances are down, so that'll drive the average up. But the majority of his damage and production came against righties, so that's positive number one. Positive number two, Ryan Nelson, 315 batters faced last season, gave up a batting average of 279. Most of the power he gave up were to righties like Judge, so most of the homers, all the homers came from that side. He had 21 extra base hits on top of that, 47 singles. So even though the average is down, Judge does not need a ton of at-bats to get this done for us. Obviously, if he hits a home run, he goes way over total bases. So this one is standing out to me. I think this is a good spot for Judge. We got a lot of positive data to support this. This is playable on PrizePicks and Underdog. All right, let's head on over to the NBA. We'll take a look at Jabari Walker. We'll take a look at Miles Turner, and then we'll take a look at Jaren Jackson. That's who it was. All right. Let's take a look at Jabari Walker, 19.5 PRA. This feels very high to me. Looking at his projection today, he's only projected for about 15 PRA. All four of these books do like the under. Well, three of these books like the under. There's a little juice coming in on the over, but I scrolled down here earlier this morning to check out his minutes. So all but 2 games out of the last 10 games have been well under 30 minutes. So his core time has been reduced. His game logs do not offer any upside. 2 out of his last 10, 2 out of his last 5. Head-to-head games with the Orlando Magic. I mean, this is about as bad of a matchup as you can get. On the road against a very good team. Play slow, and it is not. This is a marathon, not a race. These guys do not play up-tempo, and they are not pushing pace. So there's just not a lot to like here for this prop. I'm assuming this one gets bumped down to 19 or even 18.5. Just my luck, Chauncey Billups plays this dude for 48 minutes today, and he just has to get over the prop at that point, like he did with Scoot Henderson, playing 41 minutes in a 50-point blowout. Outside of anything stupid like that happening, I think Jabari Walker stays under this one. So this one was standing out to me. That's why I put it on the sheet as one of my plays. And then Miles Turner under his rebounds. So it's a little just scary taking the under on his rebounds, not because he's such a great rebounder, but because he's a center. And you typically view centers as strong rebounders. He just isn't that guy that's going to get you 10 plus, 9 plus every night. In fact, over his last 10, he's barely gotten you 7. 7 has been his high point outside for the Golden State game. His numbers against Brooklyn, not the best. Brooklyn is one of those teams that I feel just suppresses production for a lot of teams on the other side. They're not the best team, but man, for some reason, they just do a very good job of not allowing you to like have a career game. Miles Turner to get over 8 rebounds, it's just something he hasn't done very often. You're getting good odds to go under at -122 on FanDuel. DraftKings really likes it. Caesars as well. BetMGM and PointsBet all like the under on this one. You can see his projection is even at 7. As long as he doesn't get us 8, that's all we care about. So I really like that one. That one is playable on PrizePicks and Underdog. So those are the 3 plays that I presented to you in the slide. Those are also on the cheat sheet. Let's take a look at the Memphis Grizzlies versus Detroit Pistons game. And let's take a look at Jaren Jackson over, under PRA. So first, looking at his history against Detroit, just 1 game this season, he got 28. Over his last 10 games, he has gone over this in 4. And then over his last 5, he's gone over this in 2. So the competition obviously is vastly different from Golden State to San Antonio, then to Denver, then to LA, and then Orlando. I mean, those are like polar opposites, right? But today he gets to take on the Pistons. I know on the outside, it's like 2 bad teams playing each other, so you just hammer the overs. both of these teams are in like wind down mode. This is a spot to consider some unders, just picking the right players to go under. I don't think we see a blowout here. And outside of like pride and the love for the game, there's really not a whole lot of incentive here for these teams to like try to beat the shit out of each other. They're going to get paid no matter what. Again, this has ugliness written all over it. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Jaren Jackson's numbers get dropped down to 32 or 31.5. You can see he is projected for 29 PRA today. We do have some sports books to look at. So PointsBet does see it going just split, while BetMGM likes the under along with DraftKings at the identical odds. Caesars likes the under and FanDuel likes the under. So we're getting positive game logs in support of the under. We're getting positive projections and positive books in support of the under. So that one does make a lot of sense to me. Boom. Just like that. Four player props up, 4 player props down. Let's see. Pascal, the Rascal. Let's add him to. Oh, this is a double play. So Pascal over double, and that is on underdog. But let's see if we can pull up anything that we could play on PrizePicks that would correlate to the double. His demon rebounds don't look terrible, especially if we like the under on Miles Turner. But aside from that, I mean, maybe you can look at his rebounds. I don't know about PRA. Popular play for him is his rebounds and assists. Let's look at that. Let's throw that up there and let's just see what shows. What's up, Knuckles? You look young. You look like Mario. When I had the mustache only, my best friend was like, you look like Super Mario. I might have to do that for Halloween, like grow out the mustache and do that for Halloween. That doesn't even have to be Halloween. I could just grow the mustache out and walk around like Mario. Who gives a fuck? Why does it have to be Halloween? But yeah, I can definitely pull the Mario off for sure. A plumber, maybe also like the mustache with like a utility belt or something, you know. I always feel like plumbers have mustaches for some reason. Not Mario. What's up, Big Icy? Curtis Johnson, what's up? Good morning. All right, we're getting some plays in here now. Let's take a look at Scoot under RA. Jim says Jabari is at 19 on underdog. I mean, based off what we looked at, he is projected to get you not even 19. So I think it's playable. I mean, I hate playing the bumps, but you had a lot of information there that supported the under 19.5, and then everything on those game logs look like even 19 might be a little too high. I wouldn't be surprised if that one got bumped down to 18.5 and ended the day at 18. We've seen plays just like tank like that. All right, so let's pull up Scoot under RA. It does scare me a little bit that Chauncey let Scoot run out there for 41 minutes in just an unnecessary game. Like, they were never in that game. They just got the hell beat out of them. I thought for sure the blowout would hurt, and it helped. It was just more of like, stay out there, get the experience. Let's see, Aldama over 16.5. I'll do it. See, Aldama. What is it? 16.5 points and rebounds. All right. Oh, we're at 6 already. Shit. Then hold on. I'll tell you what. Let me do this. Let me screenshot the first 3. because we already talked about these. And then the next three will be Jackson, Pascal, and Scoot. We talked about Jackson earlier too. I should have did 2 and 2. All right, we'll come back to Aldama. I kind of messed that up. All right, so let's talk about Aldama under 16.5 points and rebounds. We already have this game pulled up, and not PRA, points and rebounds. I feel so bad for like Memphis Grizzlies season ticket holders. I mean, they knew coming into the season that Ja was going to be out for 25 games. But they were still probably like, you know, we got a shot at a play-in or when he comes back. Because when he came back, I mean, there was an instant like turnaround. That team was winning games. I mean, it was like a different team. And then he gets hurt again. And then you got guys like Aldama and GG Jackson and some promising young dudes. But like, that's not the Memphis Grizzlies team that was good in the West 2 years ago. I feel bad for their season ticket holders. They better be getting some refunds or some fruit baskets or something. All right, last 5 games for Aldama. So 3 straight overs and then boom, 2 unders against better teams. San Antonio. This is like a good cluster of games for him. Up-tempo games. Well, at least 2 of those were. Last 5 and then last 10, 6 out of 10. When he goes under, he really just has unproductive games. His head-to-head games with the Detroit Pistons, so it's really hard to look at these. 2 are from the previous year, but even this one was at the beginning of the year, and his role is much different now. I mean, in that game against Detroit, he played 26 minutes. 9 shots, made 3. Let's see what the difference is between that and the last 10. He's averaging 33 minutes, so minutes are definitely up. Shot attempts in certain games are up, but the average is still about the same. So minutes are definitely different. His role is different. I mean, the under on this one, let's see how it's grading out. Projection-wise, he's projected for 18. Over on PointsBet, over on FanDuel, now on BetMGM and DraftKings and Caesars, they have it at 17.5. So that's where you want to play it if you can find it at 17.5. That one is giving you really good odds to the under. So I guess based off the odds, they have him about at 17 because he goes over 16.5, that's 17, but then the odds like the under at 17.5. So 17 is right in the middle. Projection is telling you that he's getting you 18. I think 17 is a fairly accurate projection. I mean, it's possible for him to land right at 17 and get the over and under on both of those lines. What about his PRA? Is that 19.5 on PrizePicks? 20 is his projection. See, at least with the PRA, you're getting the same line across the books. And with the PRA, they really like the over on all these books. His points were at 10.5. Now his points, odd-wise, under on FanDuel, under on DraftKings, under on Caesars, under on PointsBet at 9.5, and BetMGM did like the over at 9.5. So they're basically saying he gets you 10. If all these other books are saying he gets you under 10.5, there has to be 10. So his points are probably, I mean, they look the best play in terms of odds, but whatever you feel is the best combo, like, oh, he can go over points, but he's not going to get me the over on rebounds, so the PR makes sense. Is anybody out today for Memphis? Bane is questionable. So Desmond Bain is questionable, and even Aldama is questionable. Where's Desmond Bain? So, or Desmond Bain's out? I thought he was just questionable. In games played without Desmond Bain this season, Aldama has crushed point prop, getting you an average of 12. Yeah, Bain is out. Okay, so he's getting you an average of 12 in these games. And then in terms of his PR, only a 50% hit rate. Okay, so maybe you can look to his PR for the under. The game logs without Bain aren't all that great. They're fine. They're average. Or you can just take the under on his points, which seem to look good. But man, Desmond Bain not being in there does open up usage. Siakam. We didn't know what to look at for Siakam because we were trying to figure out the double-double line on underdog. But because PrizePicks doesn't offer double-double, let's look at everything real quick. So 22.5 points is his line here. Projected for 23, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. He has to get you 10 rebounds, right? To get a double-double, you have to get a minimum of 10 rebounds. There is no there is no total there. It has to be 10 and 10. So 3 out of the last 5 games with Brooklyn, he's gone over. 2 games this season, 1 game being about 2 weeks ago, got you 11. Now, isn't his demon rebound prop 10.5? So that's why I think his demon rebound prop is in play at 10.5. But if you like his demon rebound, then you have to like his rebound prop at 9. It's 9 on PrizePicks. I think his rebounds are in play. We can look to his rebounds and assists at 12.5. Now, if he ends up getting you 11 rebounds and goes over demon, then that means he only has to get you 2 assists in order to go over. So right now his RA is not grading out all that well. But what about his assist? He doesn't need 3.5 assists to go over RA. If he gets you 11 rebounds, he needs 2 assists. If he gets you 10 rebounds, he needs 3 assists. He's gotten you 3 or more assists in 7 out of the last 10 games. I think his RA is in play. And I think his demon rebounds are in play. And if you like his demon rebounds, then he has to get you 10 or more. And he scored a minimum of 14 points in the last 10 games. So there's your double-double right there. I think the double-double line is good. Then on PrizePicks, you can look to his demon rebounds, his RA, and yeah, I think those are 2 good lines. We're going to take a look at the under on Scoot. All right, so looking at Scoot's RA, projected for 10 on a 9.5 point or a 9.5 prop. PointsBet likes the over, BetMGM and DraftKings likes the over. Caesars likes the over by a little bit, and FanDuel is undecided. He has gone over this in 50% of his last 10. He's gone over this in 60 of his last 5. Head-to-head matchup with the Magic. Man, it's way back. And man, so that's when you had Brogdon playing minutes and just Shaedon Sharp. You know, a lot of players on that team that aren't active now. What about PRA? His PRA is at 28.5. That is exactly what it was against Miami. That game should have been, I mean, that game was over a long time ago. he still was in there playing 41 minutes. That's ridiculous. He had 20 points. Yeah, going into that game, he was 2 for 2 out of his last 10 going into that game, and he goes over. I would feel very comfortable taking the under on a lot of his props, to be honest with you. I mean, maybe even dig a little bit and see if you can find anything on minutes for the Blazers today. Basically, if you follow their beat writer on Twitter or whatever, maybe look at rotations, maybe look at just minutes today, because they're just in one of those spots that they don't really have to play their starters any X amount of minutes, but you got a lot of young guys on that team, and maybe you want to soak up some usage, treat it like a scrimmage or something. You never know what these damn coaches are going to do. But outside of anything crazy happening, I think his unders are in play again. RA, PRA, and then points for good old Scoot. All right. So Jaren Jackson under, we like. Siakam over his rebounds and assists. And then Scoot under his rebounds and assists. 9.5 feels really low, I know, but you just got to look at all the other factors. It's not like 9.5. You got to look at the matchup. You got to look at game. You got to look at rotation. You got to look at minutes. This is a road game. I think the last game they played was a home. No, it was in Miami. Orlando's a tough place to play. You took Aldama over PA. Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking too, Knuckles. That's what I'm thinking too, is just they let him play. The minutes are going to be there. He still has to produce, but any hope for like a blowout and then you're going to sit the fourth quarter, I don't think that's going to happen with them. I think Chauncey Billups will just let him play. Just a matter of, can he score the points? Gary Harris over. Oh God, I thought you were done with the Magic, Ruben. Let's look up Gary. Let's clear the screen. Let's throw Gary Harris up there real quick. I took Gary Harris a couple of times. This guy. That spell is incorrect. I did not. All right, we'll start with him, and then Taco Sure. What's going on? Good morning to you. Trey Mann, first half PRA. Trey Mann has been a really nice addition to that Hornets team. When his fantasy score was under like 20, I mean, he was getting that in the first quarter, some of those games. Everything's really caught up to him. Absolutely. This is worth the take. This is worth the look. His PRA. I wonder if it is on underdog at 9.5. It is not on underdog. First quarter points are on underdog at 2.5. Cam Thomas under 29 PA. Man, what is Brooklyn gonna do? They are a mess. I saw I don't know how, I'm pretty sure it was credible. I don't know if it was from Shams or Woj, that the trade between Brooklyn and Houston was denied. Basically, Houston was trying to unload Jalen Green for Mikal Bridges and some other shit, and it just didn't go through. I don't know if I understand that trade. I have this suspicion that Ime does not vibe with Jalen Green. Like, that's not his kind of guy. He didn't draft him. He has no loyalty to him. And maybe he's just trying to move him out for just more of a system guy. I don't know. But Mikal Bridges, I don't know about him being the guy you want to target. So I don't know if they're going to look to then trade him for somebody else, but I didn't really understand that trade. I'm kind of glad it didn't happen. Maybe Mikal Bridges just needs to get the hell out of Brooklyn. I don't know. I thought that was his team. Last year, he was just like so happy to be there. And this year, he's looked really bad. Derek White, first half PRA. Spinning through yo section. What's up? Good morning. Let's take a look at Derek White's first half PRA. Hit that like button on your way in. Means a ton. Helping this channel grow, especially if I answer one of your questions. First half PRA 12.5. We're definitely seeing some players sit today for Boston. I don't know who. Brown and Porzingis are on the injury report as questionable. It's possible they both sit. It's possible they sit more people, or it's possible that they play and Derek White and, you know, Tatum sit. We don't know. But if Derek White is in, especially if he's in and 2/5 of the starting lineup are out, he automatically becomes the go-to guy on that offense. So you would think that 12.5 PRA in the first half would be well within his reach. Yeah, just his points at 2.5, Jim. Knuckles likes the Bridges under. Same stat, same line of points and assists. Let's take a look. I guess let's take a look at his points. I got 5 player props on the board. We got under on Bridges. We'll surf that. White over first half. Cam. We'll take a look at Cam Thomas also. If over under, if that's the best bet. Over on Man, and then over on Gary Harris points. Ooh, finally got a baseball prop in there. Yeah, MLB's back. Max Muncy over 0.5 total bases. So that one's on. Ruben's playing that on Hard Rock. So for Muncy today, the only thing they're showing on PrizePicks are his RBIs. That's unfortunate. Let's see what it is on Underdog. So Underdog does have his total bases at 0.5, but they are reducing your payout to 0.85. So play it, but you're not going to get the full 1x on it. They also have his RBI prop at 1.25. So both of these prop sites are giving you the like increased payout for the RBI. That is the only Max Muncy prop we have. We'll take a look at it and see if we can. We'll look at his total bases though, but we may find something for his RBI that you like. All right. What is this, round 2? Let's go. Props.cash. Let's pull up Max Muncy first, since he is our lone MLB player prop. Total bases. These lines, I know these lines look low, like these 0.5 lines. It is incredibly difficult to hit a baseball. That's like number one. These players are like the 1% in the world that can do this. It's incredibly difficult to hit a baseball. And then you start throwing curves and sliders and, you know, 4 to 6 inch drops and shit. Like, it's tough. So 0.5 seems really low, but it's it's not as easy for some players. So depending on the player, it may not be like a slam dunk. You know, it's not like 0.5 at bats or something like that. All right, what am I doing here? Let's look at Muncie. Muncie had a nice couple of years in Oakland, then signed the big deal in LA. And I don't know, I think he's battled some injuries, just really hasn't regained that form. But total bases for him, damn, he had 5 yesterday. In this series with St. Louis, this is done. So 4 games in, he recorded a base in every single game. So he recorded a single or better in every single game in that opening series. Today he is projected for 1 total base, which is why it's nerfed on Underdog. The only prop that we have on PrizePicks is the RBI. Now his total base prop -150. There's a reason why it's nerfed on Underdog, because the odds coming in are incredibly good. They're all favoring the over, so expect a lower payout. Yes, I think that's in a good spot. No history against Keaton Wynn, but his numbers against righties last season, he hit better in more plate appearances, more power. All his numbers came from that side of the plate, or came from facing pitchers, right-handed pitchers. So lefty versus righty for him works out well. In terms of his RBI, that's the only play that you got on PrizePicks. He had 5 RBIs in an opening series. I don't know if that's what you can no, you cannot expect 5 RBIs from a player in every series. That's ridiculous. They'd have 300 RBIs for a season. Lifetime, or at least over the last handful of seasons, Muncie is averaging 1 RBI per game versus the Giants. So it's a demon prop for a reason. You're never going to get good odds on this one. Depending on where he's batting in the lineup, I don't know if he's batting 4th or 5th. I don't know what it'll be this game. But you would believe that there'd be at least 1 runner on when he gets to the plate. And so the opportunities will be there for him to drive in runs. So you are kind of like hamstrung with that, because he can get on base and get a double and get a triple or whatever and not get an RBI. So there definitely has to be runners on in order for the RBI prop to hit. But if you can play his total base prop, you don't mind taking the pay cut on that one on Underdog, then that's where you want to play that. All right, let's go. NBA, we got 5 player props to take a look at. We are going to start in Boston, Charlotte. Let's take a look at Trey Mann. We're going to take a look at his half PRA line, set to 10, not 10.5. So at 10, 60% of his last 10, 40% of his last 5, and in 1 game this year, no, that's last season, so disregard that. His projection today is 20. So just simple, high level, research here. 20 divided by 2 is 10. So based off his full game PRA, you can say he's in line for a push or better. Over his last 10 games, he's averaging 11.1 PRA. And in the second half, over his last 10 games, he's averaging 11.1. See, the same numbers for this guy. Now, over his last 5 in the first half, he's averaging 10.4. And in the second half, he's averaging 9.8. So even by a little bit, he is putting in a little bit more production in the first half, which makes sense. Games are closer in the first half, you think, than the second half. So I think his first half is in play. Man, if you can find this at 9.5, that's where you want to play it. But 10 is good. Same game. We're looking at Derek White's over his 1/2 PRA. Just damn near perfect. 80% in his last 10, 80% in his last 5 games against the Hornets. He has no games this season, but he does have 3 under his belt where he got the over. In my opinion, Derek White does not need anybody to sit in order for him to hit this. However, in the event that Jaylen Brown sat, over his last 10 games played without Jaylen Brown, he's averaging 14 PRA in the first half for a 60% hit rate. Do we have a sample size of Brown and Porzingis out? We do, kind of, but it'll have to be the last 5 games. These 3 games, both of those dudes were out. Derek White did that in the first half. I'd be very surprised if Tatum sat. I know it's a possibility because of where they are in the standings. I'd be very surprised if he sat. So maybe Brown and Porzingis are the best candidates to sit. So looking at these sample sizes makes sense. When Porzingis has been out, you have all these games, last 5 games, 4 out of 5. So he doesn't need anybody to sit out. Only thing that happens when people sit out is he scores more. But as long as he gets you over the line, who gives a shit? You don't get bonus points for extra points. So yeah, Derek White's in play. First half PRA. Bridges, Thomas, and Harris. All right, let's go to Brooklyn and Indy. So willing to take the under on Mikal Bridges. Let's look at his points today. Now his points are at 18.5 on PrizePicks, so you're already getting this at a much higher line. He is projected for 16 points, but at 17.5 points, all these books like the over. They're not going to like the over as much when it's at 18.5. 2 out of his last 5 games, and then he has gone over this in 3 out of his last 10 games. Numbers against Indiana, 1 game this season, he scored 7 points. He is just not having a good season. On the year, he is averaging 20 points, but looking at his production for the year, I mean, there's a big drop off in just what he was doing. Consecutive games where he goes over his point prop, and then he starts getting into these red areas, and then here you're seeing fewer and fewer green lines as the season goes on. There's only 7 games left in the season. I don't even know if we can look at positive regression at this point. Like, this could just be a wind down, run the clock out situation for him. But you can look at the under to his points. If you want to take a look at the under for his PRA, I don't know what it is on PrizePicks, but 26.5 is the line across all the books. So at 26.5 PRA, the under is in play. 1 game this season, he got you 18. Over his last 10, 40% hit rate. But over his last 5, he has a 60% hit rate. Again, projected for 23 PRA. Cam Thomas, we're going to take a look at the under on his PA. So that is currently at 29.5, not 28. At 29, this one is getting you odds to the over, but at 28, it's not much better. I mean, one book likes the over, FanDuel undecided. And these odds aren't terrible, right? There is still a little juice to the over. I mean, 29 looks like it's in play for him. Like, he just gets you 29 based off those odds. However, his game logs are telling you he's getting you 40. He's averaging 31 in his last 10. He's averaging 33 in his last 5. It's like the exact opposite, right? For these guys. Mikal Bridges, beginning of the year to now, and then Cam Thomas, beginning of the year to now. We're seeing like them just like two passing ships in the night, just going in opposite directions. I mean, there are a lot of games where he didn't get it done, but at least over the last 5 games, last 10 games, you're seeing these massive totals. This game is gross, man. This game is fucking gross. I'm taking some unders in this game. But based off what we saw, I think you can make a case for the under on Mikal Bridges for sure. Cam Thomas, what scares me about him is that he can go 0 for 5 and then go 5 for 5 like the next quarter, and that shit tilts me. All right, Gary Harris is our last play on this block of plays. Oh, Gary Harris. All right, this matchup with Portland is prime. Unfortunately, his 10-game logs aren't. 50% hit rate over his last 10, and then a 40% hit rate in his last 5. He does not score a lot of points. 6.5 points for a lot of players is first quarter shit. This is his full game line, and it is really low, but he doesn't take a lot of shots. He is playing good minutes, but he's not even getting you 10. He's not even getting you double-digit attempts. Ideally, he would take 6 shots, and he'd make. If he took 6 shots, he'd have to make 4. If he took 6 attempts in the game, he would need to make 1 3 and just 2 other buckets. There's your 7. If he hits 2 threes, he should go over this. I think 6.5 is the lowest we've seen for him in a while. I know his point prop was around 8.5 at one point. I think maybe 9. Who's out today for Orlando? They're getting healthy. Nobody's out. Like Cole Anthony's back. Suggs is there. Fultz is there. Is Anthony Black back from injury? You got a crowded backcourt, so hope he gets you 23 or more minutes, and hopefully he's efficient from the field, because he'll average. I mean, look at his last 5 games. He'll average 5, high 0.9. If he gets you 7 shot attempts, you should feel real good about going over that one. If he gets you 5 or less, like in these games, he only took 3. The whole game, he only took 3 shots. Blowouts. He sits, man. He doesn't get that extra run. So if this game is out of hand, his ass is sitting down. That's a risk, though. All right. So Bridges got bumped down to 17.5. Ugh. Bridges got bumped down to 17.5. That 18.5 was looking real good. Now, I wouldn't touch his points now. I would maybe look to his PRA or even his fantasy score if you want to take the under on that. Muncy over RBI made sense. He just needs runners on base. He needs a can't do it by himself. White over. I mean, you can make an argument for Cam Thomas either way. 29.5 points and assist. He could finish in that 28 to 29 range. He needs 30 though. Keep this game close. It's possible. It's also possible that he shoots himself out of the game and just misses everything. Trey Man over Gary Harris. He's going to make me regret saying take the over, but this is the lowest we've seen his points in a while. So I should probably share the right screen. There you go. What do y'all think about Bridges' points at 17.5? Is it like playable for the over now? We just got through talking about the under at 18.5. Then it gets dropped down to 17.5. Is it worth taking a shot on the under or over, or you just staying away? What's going on, Vu? Good morning. Jim says, I'm thinking about matching Drew Holiday assists at 5 with White's points at 14.5 over for both. Oh, like correlation? Yeah. No, that makes sense. He was out a few games during that. Gary was out a few games during that stretch. Portland's defense sucks. I know. Oh, no, because you're talking about Cam Thomas shooting threes. Bridges only had 7 points last week against them. Yeah, he only had 7 points against them. What did he shoot in that game? Seven points against Indiana back on the 16th, and Mikal Bridges played 29 minutes. Damn, he only took 8 shot attempts. Mikal Bridges is averaging 14 shot attempts in his last 10 games, and they're climbing up. He only took 8 shot attempts in that game. That'll suppress your production. It's on the climb. If he takes 16 shot attempts, he's definitely scoring more than 8 points. That is for sure. But at 17.5, that's what we looked at earlier. It got bumped down. So BetMGM doesn't like BetMGM is playing it real close, but all these other books like the over. Yeah, 17.5 is nasty. I'm just going to stay away from that one. At 18.5, the under made a lot more sense. Yeah, 8 attempts is never gonna get it done. All right, going back over to PrizePicks. So we just got through 3 rounds of player props. Let's spend a minute or two over on OddsShopper. Let's pull up the Pick'ems table. I had it set to underdog earlier. Let's go underdog and PrizePicks. All right. So there is Jabari Walker. Why is it limiting me? Jabari Walker under. Sometimes it logs me out. And then it only shows you 5. If you aren't signed up for OddsShopper, this is kind of what you'll see, basically. They only give you 5. But I am signed up for OddsShopper. I have an account. Gary Harris under 6.5 points. We can't see plus EV. Let me log in, or let me try to log in real quick, because that's kind of pissing me off. Am I not able to log in? See. Lately, all of my apps have been logging me out. Oh, I did an update on my Chrome this morning, and I think that's what happened to log me out. There's always a reason. All right, let's give this another shot. I just want to show you all the pick'ems table in the Discord. I do supply 2 to 3 to maybe 4 free plus EV plays, 2 for underdog, 2 for PrizePicks, like 2 for NBA, 2 for MLB. And then in the premium section, I supply the plus EV generated slips. So you can just follow those. You can put those in a slip, or you can just pull plays from that. But the value is there on both of those. All right, let's go PrizePicks. Let's go underdog, and let's see what do we have. So there you go. Jabari Walker under his PRA, under his points. Got Harris under his points at 6.5. Based off the books, these are all the books where you can play this. And Fanatics had it at 5.5. Murray under 41.5 PRA. I am so sick of being burned by this dude. His lines just keep getting higher and higher, and he just keeps hitting them. There's Turner under his points at 15.5. Pinnacle likes it at -105, under 14.5, and you're getting it at 15.5 on PrizePicks. So nice discrepancy there. Ice cold Astros, right? And they'll heat up at some point, but man, they are that opening series with the Yankees. It was not the best outing for them. -136 on Pinnacle for the under 1.5 total bases for Kyle Tucker. Yeah, there's a lot here to like, especially with MLB now in the mix. There's so many more plays you can look at. We don't have to only play NBA or force ourselves to play anything else. There's a lot of good value here. So yeah, it does that Jabari Walker is popping both points and under PRA. I might have to look into that DeJounte Murray though at 41.5, because that guy, his usage rate right now is so high. I don't even know where they are in the standings right now. Are they in play-in, mode, or is it? I don't even know what the seeding is for them in the East. My PrizePicks is stupid right now. You see this shit? Golly. All right, let's take a few more player props, and then we'll close this out. All right, let's see what we got in the chat. Let me go get rid of that comment. Go see Mike says, hungover and moving slowly. I don't have anything to add today. That's cool. You can just watch. What's up, Ken? GG Jackson gets more points tonight. Will Benson total bases over 0.5 Reds, and then Paige Buchers. I actually put Paige Buchers up on my cheat sheet today, JR. I'm glad you're on that one. I almost included it on the stream as my plays, but I can't research NCAA women's on props.cash. So it didn't make sense for me to say, hey, here's my play, and then I can't break it down for you. But I think that's a good one too. Zion under 39.5 PRA. GG gets more points tonight because of no Bane. I thought his points were at 22.5. I'm like, holy shit. I'm taking the under on that one. Wait, he doesn't even have a point prop today? Okay, come on, guys. Stop showing me Jalen Suggs. So he only has 4 props. PRA, PR, PA, and steals. I guess let's pull up his PRA and just see what we can break down from there. Oh, I got you. Playing time. Okay. I don't know why I read that as points. Does Will Benson have a total base prop on PrizePicks? Let's find out. This is what you would take for Will Benson. This is, I don't even know what his odds are, but this is an excellent line for him at 0.5 because he can either get you a hit, he can get hit by a pitch and then score a run, or he can hit a sac fly and get an RBI, and they all are the same. This is a really, I feel like that's good value. Let's look this shit up real quick though before they pull it off the board. Now, it's not like Will Benson is some all-star caliber player. He's good. But, you know, it's not like Mike Trout at 0.5, hits, runs, and RBIs, or Mookie Betts at 0.5. It's Will Benson. But, man, anytime we get a line like that, we have to at least look at it. All right, so his 0.5 hits, runs, and RBIs is minus 120 to go over. He has gone over in every game this season. There's only been 3 games for him, 1, 2, and 7. He's not getting you 7 hits, runs, and RBIs again today, but we only need him to get 1. So there's your first positive checkpoint there. He's projected for 1 hits, runs, and RBIs. He has positive odds, not the greatest odds, but they're good at 0.5. I don't even think you need crazy odds. That's worth a shot on Will Benson. No history versus Chris Sanchez, but against lefties last season he struggled mightily. 44 plate appearances. He just had 1 hit, or excuse me, 1 triple and 5 singles. The good news is both of these will get it done today. A single gets it done. What is that? Now, Chris Sanchez versus lefties like Will Benson has only faced 80 batters, but he's shut them down for the most part. That's okay, because he only needs one. He only needs one of them. Again, if he gets a hit of any sort, he goes over. If he gets walked, he gets hit by a pitch. If he makes it to first on a wild pitch or something crazy like that, and the next batter brings him home, he scores a run, he goes over. If he gets an RBI of any sort, sac fly included, he gets to the over. So there's a lot of upside with this one. This one is a good one for a flex. All right. NBA. Let's go Zion, 39.5 PRA. We're going to look at the under for him. Last game of the night. Now on DraftKings and Caesars, both of them have it at 39.5. DraftKings is split. Caesars likes the over. Now PointsBet, FanDuel, and BetMGM have it at the higher line, so they're giving you better odds to the under. 39 PRA, 39.5 PRA. Back-to-back games of going under. In fact, his last 10 games have favored the under on this one. Now, I speak from experience, and I promise you that his 10-game log is not this bad, because a lot of these games, his PRA was 36.5, 37.5, and he went over that shit. But today, he needs 40, and that makes the game logs look bad. Numbers against the Phoenix Suns, 1 game this year, didn't come close. Projections are there. Odds are there, kind of. Game logs are there at this line. If this gets bumped down to 38.5, still looks okay, but the percentage rate is better. Play it at 39.5 if you want to play the under, because it's definitely not going to get any higher than that. It'll probably get lower. Then you have the decision to make if you want to take the under. Phoenix versus power forwards on the year. Let's look for starters that have numbers similar to Zion. Wemby didn't go over. Sohan fucking destroyed it. There aren't a lot of power forwards that they're gonna have that high of a PRA. What about centers? Jokic went under. And that's it. Yeah, it's hard to find a PRA that high for a power forward. So yeah, take a stab at it at 39.5 while you can. It's going to get lower at some point. GG Jackson to round it out. We're looking at, I guess we're going to look at his PR. Well, we're not going to look at anything because he's not even on the board. Is he questionable today? Nope. Jalen Duren, Cade, Scottie Pippen, Jaren Jackson, Santi Aldama, and Luke Kennard. Why isn't he up on props.cash? Yeah, I don't know why GG Jackson's not up there. GMAX says he's looking at GG Jackson under PRA, so no case to make. I don't know why he's not up here. Got it. Hit by pitches don't count. No, I understand they don't count that as total base, but if he gets hit by a pitch and he's on base and somebody drives him in, he scores a run, that counts. It doesn't matter how you get on base to score a run. So his line of 0.5 hits, runs, and RBI, that's just too low, considering that he has 3 different ways to score that. Seth Brown Demon is in play. Man, I played him the other day. I think it was Saturday. I played his home run prop. No. I played his total base prop at 2.5 total bases. Then I had this little stat going with the A's, and I picked the wrong. I picked Bleday. I picked Galoff instead of JJ Bleday. JJ Bleday had a day. Seth Brown hits for power, so I like his RBI. I like his RBI line. He's gonna hit a shit ton of home runs this season if he stays healthy. He's good enough to go yard against who's even pitching this game. I mean, he had a great chance against Carrasco. Carrasco is so washed up. I'm really surprised that he didn't get that home run against Carrasco. Tanner Houck. So Seth Brown's single line on PrizePicks 0.5 minus 190 to go under. His RBI line is a little better. 0.55 is his projection, which is like barely over the line, but it's in the green. Again, bad odds. That's why they're demons. But no numbers against this Tanner Houck. I think his name is Huck. Tanner Houck. But against righties last season, 48 RBIs, 14 homers. So the lefty righty split is a good one for him. And on the opposite side, we see that there is some power given up, a bit more power given up to lefties for Tanner Huck than to righties. So the lefty versus righty split is a good one for Seth Brown. You don't have in play for him, but obviously if he hits a home run, he gets you the RBI. If he gets a home run, that's not a single. So he can have a monster game and not get a single, and you don't cash that demon. So I think his RBI is in play, especially if the guys in front of him can get on. Like if Estoy Ruiz can get on base and Galoff and Blade, and he's batting cleanup, you're going to have a lot of opportunities to drive a run in, you would think. So I think his RBI is the best play out of those two. And if you threw that in a slip, then you're going to see a payout increase from 5x to 10x. So you're going to get a 5x payout addition to that. It's not that bad. All right. What else we got? What did you play? You played his demon prop yesterday. You got him for the single yesterday? GMAC? Nice. I mean, his projection for a hit, I mean, you're not going to find his projection for a hit, but that's minus 165 to go over 0.5 hits for him. You probably can find that on HOTSTREAK. What's up, Seaver? Good morning. Freddie Freeman fantasy. Let's take a look at that. At 8. Damn, I still want to go. When I look up Freddie Freeman on props.cash, I still want to go to Atlanta. I'm just so used to seeing him in a Braves uniform. All right, so let's manufacture this fantasy score. So none of that applies. All right, so projected for one single, there's 3 points right there. Scores a run, there's 2 points, that's 5. And then an RBI, there's 2, that's 7. These are just based off the projections. Get that fucking guy out of here. Yeah, these are just based off projections. So based off just the projections, and you're being super conservative here, like 7 is in play. Obviously, if he hits a home run today, that'll do it. Oh, his fantasy score is 9 on underdog. Oh, wow. Yeah. So now you have 2 data points to work with. You can look to take the over on PrizePicks. Then that makes it a little low, right? His numbers against Keaton Wynn: 3 plate appearances, 1 bat. 3 plate appearances, slugging percentage of 2.3, a single, a double, a home run, and an RBI. He's almost hit for the cycle against this dude. Okay. Is that what you were looking at, Seaver? Yeah, I just saw that comment. The small head-to-head number. Yeah. That is a very small sample size, but dude, if you're going to have a small sample, I mean, why not go for the cycle? That's pretty impressive. It's similar to the Connor Joe play that we talked about on Saturday. If y'all played that Connor Joe demon play, that shit paid off very quickly. think his first 2 at bats, he got it. Yeah, this was a good play on PrizePicks. 8. You want to play it on underdog at 9? You could, but if you have access to both sites, play it at the lower site, obviously, the lower line. That's a good one. If you rolled with these 2, or actually we got 5 in there now. 17x, right? It's not bad. Let's screenshot these. Do we like the under on GG Jackson PRA at 22.5? Is that what we were looking at? We couldn't really search it. He wasn't on the board on props.cash. I tell you what. How many sets? All right. I think you can play either one. I personally like his RBI just because I think he's due and he does have a few good batters in front of him that can get on base. His numbers against the split matchup numbers versus righties look good too. The scary thing about the RBI is if there's nobody's on base, unless he hits a home run, he can't get an RBI. So there's the downside to that one. But I guess take a shot on either one of those. I think he's in a good spot. All right. What else we got? We're about to end this stream with 30 viewers on. Appreciate y'all being here. Hit that like button on your way out. Freddie Freeman Demon. Two and a half hits, runs, and RBIs. His hits, runs, and RBIs line over on props.cash was projected for 2.65. That's close to 3, right? We just looked at his numbers. So there's a run, 0.75. Odds to go over that are good. So that's based off projections now. 1, 2, and he gets you at least a single. There's 3. So yeah, that's in play. That's in play. Especially if you like his fantasy score. Like, if he hits a home run, he goes over fantasy score. He goes over hits, runs, and RBIs because he gets a hit. He scores a run. And doesn't he drive himself in? That's 3 right there. If somebody's on base and he hits a home run, then you're definitely over. Yeah, you can leverage this a few different ways with his player props. And then if you want to play it safe and just say, oh, single here, throw that in another slip. Trey Murphy 3s. I didn't even see you put that in there, Divine. What's going on, man? What's up, Damian? All right. Trey Murphy 3s. Trey Murphy rebounds on underdog were 5.5. That has been a good play at 5.5. You like his, what do you like? His Goblin 3s at 2.5? Do we have a Demon 3? We don't. Murphy. Okay, so on underdog, his line is 3 3-pointers made. That is his normal line. On PrizePicks, they're giving it to you at 2.5. Let's see, 2.5. Had to start taking some unders on Joval. his minutes have been terrible with Larry Nance back. I don't know why Willie Green is opting to go with Larry Nance over Joe Val. I guess if they run small, it does make sense. But if you have an opposing big out there, like, I don't know what's going on, but Joe Val's minutes have been awful. Tired of getting burned on his props for the over. Maybe look at something for him today on the under. You would think that he's needed on the court today versus Nurkic, but I thought the same thing about Boston with Porzingis out there. Milwaukee was another bad game for him too, right? So Murphy over 3.5 threes. We don't want that. We want 3. But at 3.5, the odds are not good. 4 out of 10 games, he's gotten you 4 or more, or at least 4. Last 5, 2 out of 5. So 40% hit rate in these two frames versus the Suns. I mean, we only have one game to look at this season. It's not fair to look at that sample size and base anything off of that. Man, if you can find this 2.5 on PointsBet and BetMGM, see, everywhere has it at 2.5 except FanDuel. If you have access to any of these books, you play it at 2.5. 3 is the next best line on Underdog. And then over his last 10 on Underdog at 3, you have a much better chance of getting 3 than you probably do 4. But 4 is definitely in play. That's a lot of 3s. Look at that, man. Last 10 games. Only game was against Milwaukee. Whew. Projected for 20 and a half. I mean, his minutes. Look at this shit. There's just been one game where he's gone over 21 minutes in his last 10 games. First half. His first half and then second half. Damn. Maybe take a chance on his first half points. If he goes on to have a good full game, you probably need a good first half from him. But his production in the second half is terrible. And then in terms of his minutes in the second half, he's averaging 6 minutes in the last 10 games in the second half versus 11. Just saying. If you follow that game, maybe you take the under on his second half PRA. Based off those numbers, you gotta be fast because they'll pull it off the board. But damn, that's a big difference between first and second half. All right. Little tidbit on Jaylen Brown. First quarter points has cash. Jaylen Brown. I want to say he plays the full first quarter. Am I making that up? Jaylen Brown's points are 6 first quarter. We're seeing 8.5. First of all, I don't know why you would play it at 8.5 when you get it for 6 on PrizePicks. He has not gone under 6 in 10 straight games. He has not gone under 6 in 15 straight games. He has not gone under 6 more than 3 times in the last 30 games. For Jaylen Brown, 2 times in his last 30, he's gone under 6. 15 straight games, he's gone 6 or more. 10. I mean, his minutes, he's playing almost the full first quarter. So the rotation from what I can remember is Jason Tatum sits with about 3.5 minutes left in the first. Jalen is then the guy on the court. And then Jason Tatum plays pretty much the entire second quarter. By then, Jaylen Brown has already played 10 minutes, and then Jaylen Brown comes back in the second quarter with with basically 6 minutes left. So you're basically getting the full first quarter for Jaylen Brown to get you 6 or more points. And then you're getting 3 minutes without Jason Tatum on the floor, which is great because Jason Tatum is a usage monster. That one looks good. Yeah, nice. Love it. That's a good find, Ruben. All right. This is a unique. Freeman over his Demon, 2 hits, runs, and RBIs. Murphy over 2.5 threes. Got the Goblin. Jaylen Brown over his Jaylen Brown over his first quarter points at 6. Now, Jaylen Brown is questionable today, so just keep that in mind. If you get scratched, that's a DNP in your lineup. So just make note of that. Wagner over points, Bellinger over fantasy, Nurkic over first half PRA, Mitch Haniger RBI Demon. That's your slip, Seaver? You do have to, kudos to y'all if you are putting in the research for these demons, because that is research. That is not like, let's look at the odds. Oh, that's a good play. You're going to get terrible odds on demons pretty much all the time. You have to dig and go through the next 2-3 layers of data to find the demon prop that you think is in a good spot to hit. So shout out to y'all. If y'all are researching demons, that shit is time consuming and it's not easy. But if you find one, it sure does feel good when it hits. That shit feels real good. Mitch Haniger, 0.5 RBIs. Let's look at it. I'm always interested in these 0.5 lines, especially if you're going to get a payout boost. And those are the only 2 lines that you're getting for Mitchell. Mitch. Now you could, if you wanted to take a step further, if you like his RBI, then you stack Seattle. Pull up their starting lineup. Who's batting before Mitch Haniger? 2 to 3 batters before him. And see if you can stack RBIs and runs or RBIs and hits. Somebody has to get on base for him to drive in. He can't just, unless he hits a home run, obviously, but you could stack it if the props are available. Projected for 0.5 or 0.45 RBI. Now, his numbers against Tristan McKenzie, and I'm assuming this is why Seaver likes the Mitch Haniger play, is his BVP versus McKenzie is pretty good. 7 plate appearances is a decent sample size. 1 single, 2 homers, and 4 RBIs. So he is showing power against McKenzie. You have a righty on this matchup. His numbers versus righties in general are not good in terms of average, but in terms of his, I guess, power and his RBIs, they are there. But something about Tristan McKenzie just flips the switch for Mitch Haniger. So definitely worth a shot, taking a shot on his RBI prop. No doubt. Yep. Head to head. Boom. That's a good one. I mean, listen, none of these demon props are going to make you feel warm and fuzzy inside because the odds are going to be awful. But again, that's the risk. If you happen to run with this particular group, Freeman over Demon, Murphy over Goblin, Brown over first quarter, Haniger over 0.5 RBIs. If you put it in the power play, that's a 15.5x. That's up 5.5 from the 10. If you flex this out, the normal payout for a 4x or for a 4 pick is 5x. You're getting a 10x. You're even getting a payout boost on the 3, I believe, or is it the same? I think it's still 1.5. Yeah. But you're getting a 5x increase. That's a good one. If you took the Murphy Goblin out, then your 3x is still, is that correct? For a 3. Okay, so if you put it in a power play, it's a better play. If you put it in a power play, because this is typically a 5x, now it's a 9.25, the demons will definitely increase your payout boost. But these are good ones. I like that one. Boom. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to do it for today's live stream. An hour and 44 minutes in to the stream. If you are just joining, or if you joined the stream within the last 10-15 minutes or so, let me just reshare the 3 plays that I started off with today. Pulling these 3 plays off the cheat sheet in the Discord. Aaron Judge over his 1.5 total bases, Jabari Walker under 19.5 PRA, and Miles Turner under his 7.5 rebounds. Miles Turner is playable on PrizePicks and DraftKings. So you have 2 different options here. You can put in a 2 pick on Underdog. You have 3 plays you can play on PrizePicks. So you can build out a quick slip here, or just add these to a slip that you already have. But we talked about these. We researched them on props.cash at the beginning of the stream. I like these 3 plays for today. But that's going to do it for today's live stream. Let me just pop back into the chat, see if we have any last minute questions, any last minute player props we could throw up on the board. Going once, going twice. All right. The only one that we didn't, you know what? Let me go ahead and just screenshot the Mitch Haniger real quick so I don't forget that. And that'll do it. Hope you enjoy. If you have the day off, hope you enjoy your day off. If it's your only day off work this week, enjoy it. Relax. Hope you make money today. Hope you profit. Hope all of your player props respect the damn coin. Consider subbing up to the channel. Hit the like button on your way out. Also consider sharing this channel with somebody you know. We'll be back tomorrow, Tuesday, April 2nd, 9 a.m. with another live player prop talk. Wish you all the best of luck. I'll let the outro bump a little bit until we see each other again tomorrow morning. Chavez is out.